Hello, check. All right, people. I believe we are finally live again. Welcome back to The Alchemist by Unacademy. My name is Pahul. And if I'm audible and visible, please write here in the chat box. You know the drill. So now is the session for inorganic chemistry. We've already done the session for physical chemistry. Yeah. And now let's look at how to study inorganic chemistry. Okay. This is one of those sections of chemistry that almost everyone fears. Yeah, there are fairy tales and fables on this particular section of chemistry. And if you have seen the series Kota Factory, then a lot of you would be like, oh ho, inorganic is exception. I will not do exception. I will leave it and still crack IIT. That, my dear friends, is not a very good idea. So, in this session, let me tell you how to make sure you use inorganic chemistry to your advantage, because this actually will help you score better than others. For sure. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the class, of course, you know, I have to make a few announcements for you. So the first thing is that I am running a complete course on organic chemistry on the Unacademy's Plus subscription. So in case you want to join, you have to be a Plus subscriber. We'll be doing full organic chemistry syllabus from basic to advanced. First, we'll cover the 11th class parts in the first 1.5 months, and then we'll go to 12th class parts. We'll do every chapter of organic chemistry. The course has started. 3 classes have already been done. If you are a JEE 2022 or a JEE 2023 aspirant, this is a good course for you. If you want to take advantage of Unacademy's platform for free, then there's a series that I do called the High Octane series. And we revise we revise chapters using JEE Advanced previous year questions over there. This is the link to my profile. Just go over here and you can see all the free classes that I've taken and what I will take in the future. You just go to the description box and it says follow Pahul sir at Unacademy. Just open that link and make sure you follow to see what free classes I take. Fine. Then apart from that, people, there is something called the Unacademy Combat Scholarship Test, which happens every Sunday at 11 a.m. And in case you want to enroll into this, it's a free test. You will be able to win a scholarship if you score well. You will be able to practice more questions. You'll be able to see your rank against a lot of other students. So in case you want to enroll in it, use the code PAHUL to enroll in it for free. And if you do enroll, you might win a lucky prize as well. For example, JBL, speakers, Fitbit, iPad, etc. Fine. There are lots of other free tests that keep happening on our app. Please make sure you check those out. The summer test carnival is almost over, so make the best of it while you can. Next thing is the Unacademy's Plus subscription. Now the beauty of the Plus subscription is it's not like we take your money and put you in one batch and say, okay, this is the teacher. Yeah. You can learn from any teacher that's teaching on Unacademy's Plus platform. We don't throw you in any single batch. You decide from which teacher you want to study. Okay? There's no discrimination over here. So you can enroll, you can sit in any teacher's classes, okay? And those teachers will give you study materials, those teachers will give you DPPs, those teachers will make sure you get mock tests every weekend. Fine. So those are the benefits of the Plus subscription. We have really amazing teachers on Unacademy Plus. DC Pandey sir, Avasthi sir, MS Chauhan sir, just a few names that you definitely have heard of who teach at Unacademy Plus. Okay, so if you want to invest into this, a price for 12 months is less than 3,000 a month. Okay, and you use the code PAHUL for unlocking the best price to get the maximum possible discount. If you are someone who needs more personal guidance, let's say, if you need a personal mentor who guides you through every step of the preparation, then you should go for the Iconic subscription. It's all the benefits of Plus and a personal mentor. You will get guidance, test analysis, expert guidelines will be given by the mentor. You will get study materials given to you at your doorstep. We'll give you Unacademy branded notes, hard copy, and you'll get study planner from your mentor as well. Fine. So these are the price details of the Iconic subscription. Yeah, you can see there's a difference between the prices, of course, because you're getting personal mentorship over here, which is very important for some people. Fine. So in case you want to enroll with the best possible price, then use the code PAHUL. Fine. Chalo ji. There's a limited edition offer for all the IITJ aspirants that if you subscribe to Unacademy Iconic subscription, in this particular month, then you will get Unacademy branded notes delivered to your doorstep. मस्त books आ जाएंगे आपके पास Unacademy के, from where you can study and revise notes. These are a few of the batches that have started. You can definitely take a screenshot of this and enroll in these batches once you are a part of the Plus subscription. Chalo ji. Now let's come to inorganic chemistry, and like the previous class, we will discuss the journey of a chapter of inorganic chemistry. Ready? The journey of a chapter for inorganic chemistry will be very similar to physical, but subtle differences over here will be there. Okay? Subtle differences will be there. So first thing is the theory. The theory you have to study from the NCERT. And that's enough. You'll be like, hey, sir, don't we need to attend classes of teachers who are teaching S block and P block and D block and F block? And you can, but it's not that important. Fine. So मैं यहाँ लिख दूंगा. You can attend classes. Okay, you can attend classes of inorganic chemistry, but that's not very important. It is good if you attend classes for chapters like chemical bonding. It's good if you attend classes for chapters like coordination chemistry. It's good if you attend classes for chapters like periodic properties. Chemical bonding, periodic properties, and coordination chemistry. If you attend classes for these chapters, great. Other chapters are just like general knowledge. It's written in one place, you remember it the best you can, you replicate it in the examination. As simple as that. Okay, Vishesh, that was physical chemistry. Now we are talking about inorganic chemistry. There are subtle differences. If you can understand that, brilliant. Fine. So you can attend the classes, but it's not very important. For chemical bonding, coordination and periodic, you should attend classes. Fine. And as I've told you earlier, please follow one teacher for one segment of chemistry. That teacher can be from YouTube, can be from your coaching, can be from Unacademy Plus, wherever. But more teachers implies more confusion because everyone has a different style, different way, different order of teaching. Okay? So ye ho gaya theory from the NCERT and done. In inorganic chemistry, okay, in inorganic chemistry, especially in the chapters of S block, P block and D block, F block, okay, these block chemistry chapters, which are also a huge chunk of inorganic chemistry, you should not spend more than 20% time on the theory. Yeah, this should range anywhere between 20 to 25%, not more than that. ज़्यादा time spend करना ही नहीं है अपने को. Why? Why should we not spend a lot of time on theory of inorganic chemistry when it is the most memory-based segment of chemistry? The reason over here is that inorganic chemistry is very vast, and inorganic chemistry is so vast that it's very difficult to remember it. So what will happen is you're studying a book. Let's say you're studying the NCERT. You read it once. You're like, okay, I remember it. The next day you wake up, you'll realize you don't remember anything. That happens. You'll be like, "Arey yaar, kal ye reaction padha tha. I read this reaction yesterday. Now I don't remember anything related to the reaction." That happens in inorganic chemistry. Okay, that happens in inorganic chemistry. So what you need to do in inorganic chemistry is let go of the idea of theory. Start solving questions. What will happen is when you start solving questions, you will solve 10 questions. You will get 8 of them incorrect. Hota hai ki nahi? Yes. Does that happen or not? When you solve questions of inorganic chemistry, you feel bad because out of the, 10 questions you solve, out of the 100 questions you solve, you get 80 incorrect. Now what? Then you're like, oh, I got 80% incorrect. I should actually go back and study more theory. And that is where you are wrong. Okay? That is where you are wrong. How to study inorganic chemistry? Let me give you a formula. After you've spent a little bit of time reading the NCERT. Okay, NCERT पढ़ लिया, ठीक है, हो गया. You read it once, okay, done. Fine. You know what is ionization energy. You know nitrogen's ionization energy is more than oxygen. You remember these basic ideas. You remember chromium's electronic configuration is different. Yeah, you remember just few basic ideas from NCERT, enough. Then what you should do, okay, then what you should do is solve. Okay, you should solve questions. And the fun thing about inorganic chemistry is that there is no level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3. There is nothing like that, because inorganic chemistry questions are inorganic chemistry questions. They are mostly based in fact. There are some questions of, let's say, coordination chemistry which can be more difficult than the others. Maybe there's an application of isomerism over there. But point is, inorganic chemistry questions are very similar across the range. Board examination questions, NEET questions, JEE questions, JEE advanced questions, VIT, BITSAT. When you look at the major chunk of questions in inorganic chemistry, they are pretty similar across the range, because they are just memory based most of the time. Yeah, most of the time they are memory based. Again, the exceptions being chemical bonding and coordination compounds. Those can be treated like physical chemistry. Okay, chemical bonding and coordination compounds, they can be treated similar to physical chemistry, but everything else. Solve questions. There is no level over here. What questions do you have to solve? First, solve NCERT questions. In-text questions, example questions, at the end of the chapter questions, all questions of NCERT, you have to solve it. What will happen while solving questions? You'll be like, I had read this, but I don't remember it now. What do I do? Just go back, read it again. That's it. You have to essentially, okay, inorganic में main चीज क्या करनी है आपने? The main thing that you have to do in inorganic chemistry is theory via questions. You don't have to do questions via theory. You have to learn the theory via questions over here. Yeah, there's a reaction and it tells you that, you know, there's a question, let's say, and the question asks you what happens to permanganate. Yeah, what happens to KMnO4 when you put it in acidic medium? The options are, it goes to Mn2 positive, it goes to MnO4, it goes to MnO2, etc., etc. Yeah. So let's say you don't know the answer to this question. What you will do is, after you are finished with the exercise, let's say you targeted 100 questions, after you're done with 100 questions, then you start looking for the solution, the answer for each and every question. Then you realize that, okay, the answer to this question is permanganate in acidic medium turns into Mn2 positive. Then try to remember it. My guarantee to you is, if you solve 100 questions of inorganic chemistry, yeah, there will be 5 questions on manganese. If you solve 200 questions of inorganic chemistry, there will be 10 questions that are related to S block elements. Yeah? There will be 10 questions related to S block elements, and out of them, 4 or 5 questions will be related to superoxides. 4 or 5 questions will definitely be related to the exceptional nature of lithium compared to others, the diagonal relationship of lithium, etc., etc. So the same concept will come again and again and again and again when you solve questions. What happens when you do the same thing again and again and again? It becomes very obvious to you. You remember it without any effort. You effortlessly remember it. Instead of, going through the NCERT, kiya, are yaar, phir padhte hain, study, oh, can't solve questions, then again read the theory. You are just stuck in one position. You are not going anywhere in that. Fine? Theory via questions. So, kaun se questions karne? You have to solve NCERT questions, and you definitely have to solve previous year questions of, you have to solve previous year questions of JEE Main. You have to solve previous year questions of NEET. You have to solve previous year questions of JEE Advanced. And now the doubt will be, sir, I am preparing only for JEE Main. Can I do only JEE Main? No. If you are preparing for JEE Main, you should be solving questions of JEE Main, JEE Advanced and NEET. Why? I told you earlier. Questions of inorganic chemistry are questions of inorganic chemistry regardless of the examination. Shubham is asking, can we skip NCERT for inorganic? If you do that, you don't give the examination. It's going to save your time. Inorganic chemistry is 80% questions will come from NCERT directly. Okay? Oh, don't skip this part, please. Compulsory. So previous year questions of JEE Main, NEET, JEE Advanced, important for everyone. Sir, but I am preparing only for NEET. Why do I have to do JEE Advanced questions? Because it's inorganic chemistry and JEE Advanced questions are a little tougher generally. Solving tougher questions will make you better at solving easier questions as well. ये करना तो बहुत ही जरूरी है. This is very, very important. Now, after that, okay, after that, what you have to do is solve as many questions as you can from your coaching material and solve as many questions as you can from books. The books that I would suggest are books like O.P. Tandon. This is a book that I solved during my JEE preparation, or you can solve a book by V.K. Jaiswal. Okay, fine. So you can take any one book. No need to take both these books. Just take any one book and start solving those questions. If you'll be like, sir, but in O.P. Tandon, the questions are so difficult, out of 100, I can't solve 90. Don't worry. Spend some time trying to solve those questions. Try. And once you are done with it, once you're done with the exercise, you realize you are not able to solve 90 questions, then look at the solution and look at the answer to each and every one of those questions. Dekho fir. Try to look at the solutions and then try to remember it. If you can, you will automatically remember it because there will be at least 5 to 6 questions of a certain type. Yeah. For one single concept, for one single exception, there will be 5-6 questions for sure. Okay? Okay? So coaching material or Unacademy material, whatever you have, and then books. Very, very important. This is all you have to do for inorganic. That's it. Khatam. Now, Sravanan is saying, sir, what about JD Lee? JD Lee is not important. JD Lee is good if you want to understand a lot of ideas behind inorganic chemistry, if you want to go deep into it. So if you're a student in 11th class, then you should read JD Lee whenever you have a little bit of spare time. थोड़ा सा खाली time अगर बच गया, you have done everything else, you are sitting idle but you want to study, then you can look at JD Lee. Otherwise, it will just be too much information. So inorganic chemistry के लिए, if you want to know what are the books, NCERT, previous year question paper book, and one book out of these. That's enough. That's enough. Okay? This is all you have to do for a chapter in inorganic chemistry. Let me tell you a trade secret. Okay? This is a trade secret. You understand the meaning of the word trade secret? This is a trade secret from coaching institutes that produce top ranks in IIT JEE. Okay? This is a secret of all the coaching institutes that teach top ranks in IIT JEE. How do I know this? Because I was in a coaching which produced really good ranks. I have seen this happen. I have been a part of the industry myself for a very long time. I have literally been in this process myself, so I know what is done. What is done is, once the syllabus of chemistry is almost over, okay, let's say the examination for JEE is in January, in the month of September or October, what we do is, the smart students, okay, the elite group students, the topper students that we have, we call them and we're like, okay, every day you have to sit for 3 hours over here and solve this module that we are giving you. उनको क्या दिया जाता है? They are given this module of inorganic chemistry which has all sorts of random questions of inorganic. They don't even belong to the theory that is given in the NCERT. They are so random. Yeah? अंट शंट क्वेश्चन कहते हैं ना, जिसको बस दे दिए जाते हैं उनको. So every coaching institute has these huge modules which are just thrown at the faces of these children. You'll be like, sir, how can we get these modules? Don't worry. The book that I suggested you, O.P. Tandon, V.K. Jaiswal, same thing. Okay, is the same thing. Now what they have to do is, in those 3 hours, they have to solve that. In those 3 hours, they have to solve that. That's it. Like, sir, how can they solve if they don't know the theory? That's the thing. They are worried about scoring well in JEE. They don't care about how they do it. So what they do is they will try to solve those 100 questions in those 3 hours, and then they'll realize, okay, 100 questions in 3 hours, they solve it like a mock test, they try to do it, and then they realize, okay, out of these we couldn't get 50. Those 50 they will try to look for the answer. We will also give them solutions. Again, the books that I suggested you, they have their solution books as well. That's also available. If you have coaching material, they give you the solution or the answer key next to it. Yeah. So then they start looking at solutions. If there is something that's a little more difficult, google.com, done. Okay. That is how you produce toppers for IIT JEE. Everyone else can prepare for maths, physics, physical chemistry, organic chemistry. But inorganic chemistry is where toppers make their margins. Huge margins. और वो margins कैसे आते हैं? They come because they solve so many questions of inorganic chemistry. Yeah, so many questions of inorganic chemistry. They have so much data that the exam questions are somewhere from that data itself. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know everything about motorcycles. If someone asks you, how does the engine work? You know that. If someone asks you, how does the gearbox work? You know that. Why? Because you know everything about the motorcycle. You haven't prepared for an examination which, asks about an engine. Let's say you have an exam which asks about the engine, but you know all about it because you know about the entire motorcycle properly. Get the idea? So inorganic chemistry is very similar. Trade secret क्या है? Solve questions. Do not worry about the theory, because after you solve questions, you can look at their solution. That is what the theory is. Remember it. Khatam. Okay? Roshan Singh, past 40 years or past 10 years? Past 40. Chalo, ye ho gaya. Trade secret is done. Now, there are a few mistakes that we make. There are a few mistakes that we make. And we do not want to make those mistakes in inorganic chemistry. Yeah. अब कौन सी mistakes हैं? What we should not make. ठीक है. मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. What are the mistakes? ठीक है. क्या क्या मिस्टेक करते हैं अपन इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में? थिंक अबाउट इट. First one I've already told you. First mistake is spending too much time on theory. Yeah. If you have to spend time on theory, spend it on coordination chemistry, spend it on chemical bonding. Every other chapter of inorganic chemistry, spend more time solving questions. This is one mistake. Second mistake that we do in inorganic chemistry is not studying it. Yeah. We watch that one episode of Kota Factory. Then we listen to what Jitu Bhaiya says, and Jitu Bhaiya says, "यारे, inorganic chemistry तो exception है, छोड़ दो." It's your wish. I would say, not a good suggestion. Sounds good, looks fancy, makes for a great episode in a web series related to IIT JEE preparation. I would not suggest that, because inorganic chemistry is actually really scoring and really easy. ठीक है? तो उसको skip तो मत ही करो. Okay? Please study it. This is a mistake. Not studying inorganic chemistry is a mistake. Third thing, being afraid of it. Okay? Being afraid of it or taking it too seriously. You know what happens when we as students are not able to solve questions? Yeah, जब हम कोई question देखते हैं and we are not able to solve it, we are like, oh, this is bad. I am not a good person. I am not able to solve question. How will I be able to clear JEE? ये सब दिमाग में ख्याल आने लग जाते हैं. You feel underconfident. Don't take inorganic chemistry that seriously, because while practicing, you will get incorrect questions. If you're getting questions correctly, yeah, let's say you're solving 100 questions, you get 99 questions correctly. That means you're doing something wrong. Why? Because you're solving questions that you already know the answer to. Solve questions that you don't know the answer to, so that you can learn their answers, so that you can know what their answers are. Yes? ठीक है? Fine. So, stop being afraid of it and stop taking it too seriously, yaar. Okay? It's just a set of questions that you have to solve. The more you can memorize, the better it is. How to memorize? Repeat those questions again and again and again. Yeah? If you solve 500 questions from a book, as I said, one concept, there will be at least 5-6 questions. If there is one concept that is repeated in front of you 5-6 times, you will definitely remember it. ठीक है जी? बहुत जरूरी है. These are the mistakes. Fine. And one more thing, people. Inorganic chemistry mein, the biggest mistake, okay, this is the biggest mistake, is spending too much time on a question. Okay, spending too much time on a question is bad. Inorganic chemistry questions are like this. Again, coordination chemistry, if you have isomerism questions, they will take a little bit of time. Chemical bonding, if you have molecular orbital theory questions or VSEPR questions, they will take a little bit of time. That's fine. But apart from that, memory-based questions, tick mark-based questions, don't spend a lot of time on it. If you know the answer to it, great. If you don't know the answer, move ahead. Always remember, in the examinations, attempt an answer only if you are 100% sure. Not 90%, not 80%, not 50%, 100% sure. You have to be about the answer. Otherwise, you're risking negative marking. Then some of you will be like, sir, what if I eliminate 2 options? I will left only with 2 options. Now, good chance, no, sir. The problem with that good chance, no, sir, is that you are literally hanging your career onto a 50-50 probability. Yeah? 2 options means 50% probability that you'll get it correct, 50% probability you'll get it incorrect. 50-50 probability और कहाँ होती है दुनिया में? Where else do you see 50-50 probability? In a coin toss. Do you want to leave your career up to a coin toss? I eliminate 2 options, sir. You wasted your time, sir, and now you're getting negative marks, sir. Don't do that. ठीक है? So Priyanshu is saying SPDF block की information भूल जाते हैं. भाई सवाल करते रहो. Keep solving those questions again and again. You will automatically remember it. You have a brain. Yeah, your brain has memory. बचपन में क्या होता था? We used to watch cartoons, है ना? A lot of you still do. It's great. The thing about cartoons is they don't have a lot of episodes. A lot of times the episodes start repeating. Yeah, 1 year they run a set of episodes. Next year the episodes again start repeating. I remember that used to happen. There used to be a cartoon that used to come on Disney Hour called Tailspin. There was just a bunch of episodes in it, and then the episodes would keep on repeating again and again and again. 3-4 years when you are, a child, I used to watch Disney Hour every single day. Yeah. So in 2 years of time, 1 or 2 years of time, I knew each and every episode by heart of Tailspin. Tailspin का एक episode में क्या क्या होना मुझे याद था. Even the dialogues I remembered. Is it an easy thing to do? No. I'm remembering tons of information. Even the dialogues, the exact story. But why do I remember it? Because I'm watching it again and again. I'm watching it happily, okay, that's good. But I'm just watching it again and again and again. Your brain is programmed in a manner that if you do something again and again, it will remember it. याद रह जाएगा भाई. तो if you are not able to memorize concepts, then please make sure you solve more and more questions. ठीक है जी, लिख लिया? Okay, chalo. This is done. Now let us come to the important topics of inorganic chemistry. अब आ जाते हैं important topics पे. Okay, ये गलतियां मत कर देना please. Fine. Now let's come to the important topics. Important topics again. First of all, as I always say, whatever is your favorite is the most important topic. जो भी आपका favorite है, that's the most important topic. Apart from that, if you want me to give you a list of the most important topics, then the first one on the list is definitely coordination chemistry. Yeah, this is one chapter in inorganic chemistry that has a lot of logic associated with it. I relate this more to physical chemistry than inorganic chemistry. Yeah, काफी observable चीजें होती है, काफी theoretically verified चीजें होती हैं. Of course, there are complexes that you have to remember. Yesterday as well in the Take 5 series, there was a very weird complex that we took in which iron had a +1 oxidation state. Yeah, so that happens. It's inorganic chemistry, but it's one of the most logical chapters and you find multiple questions from it every single year. Fine. Karandeep, yes, we are not doing high octane today. We will do high octane. We'll resume it next week. Okay, so today we are not doing high octane. Okay? So coordination chemistry is important. Then definitely chemical bonding is important. This is also something that has a lot of logic. There are questions from VSCPR hybridization almost every single year, and those questions are step-by-step algorithm based. You do this, you'll get the answer. Yeah, molecular orbital theory is also very, very easy. There are some questions based on the application of theory itself. Yeah, they will ask you things about sp orbital mixing. They will ask you things about bond angle of NH3 versus PH3. Those things are much more relatable. They have a set algorithm rather than just random information being thrown at you. So this is also an important chapter and it finds a lot of questions every year. Then the next chapter that is very important is the chapter of D and F block. Why is it so important? Because D and F block chapter, it has a lot of applications in real life. Yeah, potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate, iron, magnesium, zinc, etc. etc. जितने भी metals आते हैं, I know magnesium is not a part of the D and F block series anyway, but you understand what I'm trying to say, right? We have metals, we have species which are useful in daily life. We have concepts that are not that difficult either. इतने ज़्यादा difficult concept नहीं होते D and F block chapter में. You have the properties of manganese, you have the properties of chromium, you have the properties of the complexes of nickel, etc. etc. So D and F block, and in F block they ask questions from F block these days quite often, and in F block there's just a bunch of information. Lanthanides will show +3 oxidation state. There are some that show +2 or +4. They act as redox reagents, etc. etc. Fine. So simple hai. It's one of the simpler chapters. It's not that difficult. It has some logic hidden here and there, and you have a good number of questions that come from it. Then the next one that I would say, the next one that I would say is metallurgy. Why metallurgy? Because the sheer amount of questions asked from metallurgy is too much. Too much. Okay. Metallurgy से last year in JEE Main, in every shift there were 2 to 3 questions of metallurgy for some reason. Okay, even in JEE Advanced they ask multiple questions of metallurgy. Yeah, there are so many times when I've seen a question on leaching of gold and silver. Okay, so metallurgy is important. So these are the 4 top most important chapters according to me. If you're asking about P block, why did I not include it over here? Because there's too much information in it. Okay, there's too much information in it, and again to study it from top to bottom is impossible. There is so much information in it. Yeah, so sometimes it just becomes very difficult to deal with that information. So in case you have less time and you want to prepare certain chapters only, then this is a better idea for you. Periodic properties again is very important, but it is so basic that I think you should be done with it even before you get to these chapters. It's very basic, and direct questions from periodic properties are not that common. You will find applications of those concepts in some questions. Maybe sometimes there will be direct questions, okay? But It is a chapter that is so basic you should know it before this itself. ठीक है? So these are the important chapters. But again, as I told you, favorite topics are important, and S block and P block are important as well. It does not mean that they are not important chapters. It's just that these are my picks for important topics because these two are easy to prepare. These two are also on the easier side and they have a lot of weightage. S block and P block, weightage is okay, good enough, but they are very difficult to prepare at times because of the sheer amount of information they have. काफी random होती है. Okay? So if you have to prioritize these. Otherwise, make sure you prepare S and P block as well because there are a lot of questions that come from there directly. Fine? So important doesn't mean you prepare only this. Okay? Done? So people, the class can be summarized in one sentence, and that is, don't take inorganic chemistry too seriously. Just make sure you are learning the theory via questions and not the other way around. That's how you study inorganic chemistry. Fine. Now, for the next 5 minutes, I will look at the chat box, and if there are any relevant doubts relevant to inorganic chemistry and its preparation, I'll take it, and then we'll end the session because at 10 p.m. we have a session on how to prepare for organic chemistry, which is my favorite segment of chemistry. Puranjay is saying, what about class 11? Bro, chemical bonding is in class 11. Dilshad is saying how to learn color precipitate. Solve more questions related to color and precipitate. 20 questions में से 5 question होंगे where they ask you about the color of copper sulfate. You will remember the color from next time on. Gayatri Singh, watching lectures for half a day is good or bad? Bad. Spend lesser time on lectures, please, if you can. Tell some tips for remembering the equations. Roshan, you know what I'm going to say, bro. You've been attending my classes for more than a year now. You know exactly what I'm going to say. Jeevan is saying, are the tables really important to mug up? Again, Jeevan, the technique of mugging them up is by solving questions. Inorganic chemistry hai, they can ask questions from anywhere. Yeah, in NCERT, there's that table of oxides of nitrogen, NO, NO2, N2O5, NO3, kitne sare N and O ke combinations hai. Yeah, so many different combinations of N and O. And in every combination, there are like 3, 4, 5 different reactions. They can ask questions from any of those reactions. So, technically speaking, yes, that entire table is important. Practically speaking, can you learn that? I can't. So, I would rather solve more and more questions, and then there will be, let's say, out of 100 questions, 5 questions on NO. So, I would at least remember the properties of NO. That's how you tackle inorganic chemistry. Okay, fine. So unique shots, I hope that answers your question as well. Without reading the info of P block, can I start doing questions? Suman, I would suggest that you read the info at least once. Okay, एक बार NCERT से go through कर लो. Just go through NCERT once and then start solving questions. Otherwise, you'll be totally in the dark. You need at least a torchlight to navigate a little. Yeah. Just don't throw yourself in the dark. Read the theory once. That's what I said, 20 to 25% of time theory, and then just throw yourself into questions. Okay? Alright, Arjun is saying, is qualitative analysis important for JEE Advanced? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Okay, sometimes there is a question on qualitative analysis, sometimes there isn't. If you can prepare for it, great, because when there is a question, then that's an advantage for you if you know it, because a lot of students would have skipped that particular part. Vasi Reddy is saying, how do you remember the whole periodic table, sir? There are so many videos of that online on YouTube, bro. All you need to do is remember the periodic table via mnemonics. Yeah, so for example, you have helium, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Instead of remembering like that, hydrogen, lithium करके, sorry, मैंने helium बोला, hydrogen, lithium, if you want to remember, rather you remember it like हरी लिए नाम कर रब से फरियाद. Those are called mnemonics. You do that for the entire table, you remember that. Yeah. But Saleh is saying, sir, I score around 97 percentile in JEE Mains, and should I now focus only on JEE Advanced? You should focus your attention 70 to 80% on JEE Advanced. Yeah, because while solving advanced questions, you will automatically be good at basic questions as well, right? Jeevan is saying, actually, sir, why do people overrate inorganic chemistry so much? It's just that it scores you a lot of marks in a very less amount of time if you know it. Yeah, 33% of chemistry is inorganic chemistry. So let's say there are 30 questions, 10 questions. You can do those 10 questions in just 5 minutes. Yeah, which is a huge time saving, because that same 10 questions in mathematics will take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, so that's why inorganic chemistry is overhyped. Shubham Patak. So if you want to enroll into that subscription and you want it to end till the last attempt, okay, it's a 12-month subscription. So 12 months जब खत्म होंगे तब subscription खत्म हो जाएगा. If you want it to last for the remaining time, then what you do is wait for the bumper offer. Okay. I keep telling you about the bumper offer in my regular classes, right? So that bumper offer generally starts on Tuesday and Wednesday. So when that bumper offer is running, you enroll in it, you will get 2 or 3 months extra. So that will increase the time in which you can, study for plus. Okay. Apart from that, there are other ways of getting free extra time as well, extended subscription. तो वो बाद में देखना भाई. You can think about that later. Sharat is saying how to manage backlog, sir. Sharat, I have made a bunch of videos on the topic. Just do a quick search on YouTube, you will find it. Okay. Prayan is saying best books for NEET, NCERT. Okay, Nehal is saying how much time should we spend approx studying organic? Nehal, we'll talk about that in the organic chemistry wala class. But again, there's no time limit. You should be able to manage everything. If you're able to do organic chemistry in a small span of time, shorter span of time, then good for you. That's what I used to do. Organic chemistry ka, when I used to get the booklet of one chapter from my coaching, so what happened was when the chapter ended, whenever a chapter ended, they gave us a booklet of the entire chapter. Fine. उस booklet में there was level 1 exercises, level 2 exercises, level 3 exercises and subjective level exercises, and then a few brain teaser kind of questions. Okay. So overall this would be around 150 to 200 questions depending on the chapter, sometimes even more, sometimes lesser. So for organic chemistry, what I used to do was the day they gave me that booklet, 200, 250 questions, I would solve that same night. Because I was good at organic chemistry naturally. It's a knack that I still have. So I just used to finish it as quick as I can. वो बैठे बैठे कर देता था मैं सारा. So yes, it depends on person to person. USR Beats is saying how much can we score in inorganic? Yeah, you can easily score 90%, 90 to 100% in inorganic. It's easy. Yeah, chalo. People, that's it from my side for this particular session. I will take your leave for now, and after 10 to 15 minutes, we will see each other once again for the last live session that we'll take today, and that's it to master organic chemistry. Yeah. So we've understood about physical chemistry, we've understood about inorganic chemistry. Now the next session is about organic chemistry, and I've made 3 separate sessions because even later, if someone searches for how to practice inorganic or how to master organic, they should be able to find these sessions separately. Fine. So if you are still energetic about knowing these ideas for organic chemistry, I will see you at 10 p.m. Until that time, take care, stay subscribed to the channel, and please make sure you hit that thumbs up button.